welcome! My fellow epic gamers! So basically I've heard some rumors saying that a more open 4.0 beta is coming out soon. Which means that it's a better time than ever to suggest some ideas to make Unturned II a great game. Now before we even start, let me get one thing straight. There are a fuck ton of videos made only just to get some easy views and using completely recycled ideas which all of us, including me, you and Nelson, have heard about 20 times already. So before making this video I've watched a couple of other YouTubers' videos about the subject and also looked in the Unturned II roadmap, so don't expect shit like "Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Generic YouTuber 27. Now before we even start, make sure to enter my completely real giveaway for epic mythical skins. To join, make sure to leave a like, subscribe and comment down below. Also PayPal me $50 to get a chance of me signing your profile. But now let's get to the video. First off, offline raiding protection. Now, instead of people like this who actually give a shit about the game and share some creative and practical ideas to improve this concept, I'm just going to whine for 5 minutes about how annoying it is to get offline raided in Unturned 3.0 just to get my ad revenue. Yep, we're having none of that shit here, alright? Because you see, I'm not making this video just because I want some easy views, I also actually give a shit about the game, so let's get straight to the idea number 1. Okay, so I've made a little visual representation on what I think that the combat system should be like in Unturned 2, so I'm going to show it to you right now and later we're going to go over the details one by one. Okay, so the thing that probably jumped out to you the most was the immense drop-shotting and jumping around while shooting nerf. While jumping, falling to the ground, going prone and getting up from the ground, you should not be able to ADS and your hipfire would go all over your screen. Technically you could still be shooting while doing all of this, but killing someone further than 5 meters away from you would be close to impossible. Also, I would like to see an overall hipfire nerf, because right now when you put a barrel on your gun and you have the sharpshooter skill leveled up, you can basically snipe people while hip firing. These changes would make PvP overall more grounded and, in huge quotation marks, more realistic. This way PvP would rely more on your aim, rather who can spam his spacebar faster. And on top of that, that would make crouching and leaning, which are basically useless right now, much more viable. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Dude, really? A fucking soundtrack? I'm not going to be able to focus properly in a life-threatening situation because of this.
And well, I partially do agree with you. I don't really think that having a soundtrack which plays while you're fighting NPC bandits and especially other players is a really good idea. However, adding background music which would play while you would be exploring a dead zone or while you would be fighting, for example, a mega or a boss zombie, if done right, would make them much more intimidating to at least newer players and leave them with a better first impression. Also, why not add a soundtrack to more repetitive tasks? I mean, Unturned II is meant to be a more PvE-sided game after all, so there's probably going to be more grinding in the wilderness. So why not add a soundtrack which would play while you'd be chopping trees, mining boulders, or maybe even fishing. Different variations of every soundtrack could also play depending on the season. Also, imagine this. You're driving your car at night, trying to traverse a huge map, and you drive into a city. Everything is peaceful and quiet, you're driving slowly to not alert the nearby zombies. NANI?! Oh wow, what a surprise. The only thing that's more broken than Maple Strike in 3.0. Now, I could suggest removing it outright, but I don't really like this approach. Third person can be great for making cinematic shots and accessing the camera mode. Also, it is insanely useful while driving a vehicle. However, the character third person mode is completely broken and everyone knows that. It's one of the biggest reasons why most of the popular 3.0 servers at the moment are switching over to first person mode only. For example, Escape from Unturned II. to fix this problem, I've come up with 3 approaches which could fix the third person mode in Unturned II. The first possible solution is to set all of the official servers which would be accessible by buying the gold upgrade to character first person and vehicle third person. That wouldn't fix the problem entirely on player-made servers, but at least we would have a somewhat balanced experience on the official ones. The second way of possibly fixing that problem is tweaking the third person in a way which would automatically change your perspective into a first person one once you ADS your gun. And while people could still peek around the corners by using third person, with the other hipfire changes I have suggested earlier, effectively PvPing while in third person mode would be close to impossible. And the last approach, which, while the most effective one, would definitely upset a lot of players. And by that I mean allowing third person mode access only to the server admin. Now on the second thought, I don't actually think that it would be a really good idea because it would be hugely controversial, but the option is still there, I guess. Mega and boss zombies. We all know what they are. Megas drop insane loot, and boss zombies are required to complete the quests. However, killing any of them isn't essential at all for obtaining endgame stuff. Anything that mega zombies drop can be easily found, and completing quests is completely optional. There exists only one map in which you absolutely cannot reach endgame without killing any of these beasts. It's Yukon. And honestly, it's a really good concept. You shouldn't be able to reach endgame without fighting a single zombie, and while dropping weapons which are unobtainable in any other way is by itself a really good idea, why not expand on it? Maybe you should try making zombies drop blueprints which are essential for crafting endgame stuff. For example, every half an hour, in a huge warehouse, a mega zombie would spawn which after death would drop 3 blueprints for random metal-based components. And now to end the video off, I'm going to talk about some minor life improvement changes. First off, the possibility of claiming multiple bedrolls and after death choosing your spawn point. I mean, obviously there should be a limit to the amount of bedrolls you can claim at once, but no one can deny that this would make life easier for everyone. Second off, adding more customization options to the UI and making already existing ones much easier to access. Maybe something like an option to change your view model in game, maybe allowing you to create custom crosshairs, or maybe even giving you an option to choose where you want your ammo count and your stat meters to be on the screen while playing. And lastly, allowing players to create custom paint jobs for their guns. And while I do realize that you have said that you don't want any skins or cosmetics in a way of in-game purchases, I think that it's a really good way to introduce skins without any microtransactions. Or maybe you could add it as a bonus to golden upgrade. Or anything, like honestly I just don't want to look at my black stock Eagle Fire for 2000 hours. You know, I want my shit to be aesthetically pleasing. Okay, so I hope that I was helpful and you liked some of my ideas. It's up to you which ones you want to add and which ones you don't. However, Nelson, if by some miracle you're listening, please take your time. Don't listen to these impatient 12-year-olds. Make sure that the game isn't another Fallout 76 and then release the game to the public. This way you will earn even more of our respect and our wallets. Good luck with your game.
Raindrops, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot bar. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the cook pot. My bitch is bad and bullshit. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas